This is a course about grief. It's a subject most of us don't want to talk about or think about until we're forced to. And the truth is, we will all be forced to. In a recent online survey of people who had experienced the loss, over 80% indicated that they were not only not ready for the loss of their loved one, but they were absolutely not ready for the grief that followed. And their number one suggestion was to include greater education and information on grief and the grieving process in our schools, our universities. And that is the objective of this course. It is an objective that we're going to take and divide in 5 different subject areas. Number 1 will be the different types of grief, from cumulative grief, where you've experienced several losses, to traumatic grief and many other types. We're then going to look at the research that exists on grief, past research and now new research on grief and how the grieving process is changing. The third part we're going to focus on is health and how grief can impact each of our health, and not only the physical and mental health, but the health of our relationships at work, and even our job itself, and how grief can kill us. So we'll provide you with greater tools and information, and we're also going to connect you through links to short videos in each of these subject areas of people, organizations, and celebrities that not only share their grief and their grieving process, but also their coping strategies, their advice for all of us who will experience grief. The last 2 parts of the course are going to focus on the impact of social media and the impact that it's having now, and the impact that it and new technologies like virtual reality and artificial intelligence will have on our grief and our grieving process. And at the very end of the course, we'll talk about something that is not talked about too often, and that is the positive side of grief. Yeah, there is a positive. There is a massive amount of positive societal impact being made throughout the world by people grieving, by people facing probably some of the worst situations that they face in their life or they will face, and taking that pain and anguish and turning it into a positive for all of us. Again, in this section, we will look at not only the stories, but we'll provide you with links to short videos and some of their testimonials and coverage of their actions. This course can never take away the pain that you may be going through at this point if you're grieving, but it will provide you with greater awareness, information, and the coping strategies of many others who've come before us and who have grieved themselves. If you know other people who are grieving, please forward the link and the information on this free course. And we hope that the course is of some help to you, your family, and your neighbors.